Look what has been delivered. Oh yes. I don't know if I'm excited or scared. Now we've come in the shed because it is probably going to piss down outside. Please handle with care fragile machinery. So this here is a Crytec Power 600 kilogram micro digger. Yes, a little baby micro digger. Now we have been offered probably 3 or 4 of these already from varying manufacturers of different brand names and everything on them. And we've turned them all down because we do have some standards on this channel where we like to work with manufacturers who are going to be able to back up a product, and hence why we've turned those other ones down. But when Crytec said that they're going to be doing these, we thought, do you know what? We know them. We know there's someone to ring if there's a problem. We know there's someone to ring if there's something missing. We know there's someone to ring if, you know, you just need your hand holding for some reason, because you can get these delivered in like 2 days on a pallet, as we have with this one, direct to your door for self-assembly, to then put it together and go digging. So our little micro CREX6-M, M standing for micro, not manual, you know, it hasn't got a gearbox, comes in at only £4,000, 4,000 quid plus the VAT, so £4,800 for a mini digger. Surely for that price it's going to be shit, right? Now I certainly have my reservations and concerns. I've been driving various diggers of all shapes and sizes on and off for the last 20 years. Some as small as this, some bigger, or a lot bigger. So this is going to be my first petrol-driven digger that I've ever used. Is it going to be noisy? Is it going to be powerful? Is it going to be able to do the jobs that we wanted to do? Well, that's what we're going to answer in this video. So let's get this wrapping off and see what we've got. Whew, bit dizzy now. Let me get my breath back. So as standard, it comes with 1 bucket, but for a limited time only, you can get it with the grading bucket and the canopy. And then we've got some extra attachments here as well to make our job today a little bit easier, which you can buy separately from Crytec. So starting with the beautiful toolbox, which I'm presuming is everything in here that we need to be able to put it together. Oh, you've even got some pliers. You've got a filter wrench. Where are we from? You've got a toffee hammer. Actually, to be fair, he doesn't look too bad. Right, let's offload these bits. Right, so riding shotgun, we have got the 10-inch wide bucket with the wings, an 18-inch landscaping rake. Look at it. The bit I'm most excited about is the ripping tooth. Look at that. We are going to find this useful today. And the 24-inch grading bucket. Oh, Mrs. Bouquet would be pleased. Oh, and another spanner. I think it's a head scratching tool. That's what that is. Been a while since I pulled one of these off, but oh, 1 and 2. Oh, look at me levers. Right, let's get the rest assembled and then it's time to start digging. Golden delicious, like an apple. Right, so I think that's all assembled, although I haven't actually got any proper instructions. And the only tool we really needed was to screw it in the roll frame, which even with the comprehensive toolkit, it didn't have the right size Allen key for it, but luckily we're fairly geared up here. So I'll mention to Crytec that is missing in their kit. We filled it up with oil, we filled her up with fuel. Yeah, let's just have a quick little look around her, then we need to get her off the pallet and have a first start. So there is the single cylinder 270cc petrol engine, all of the cc it is. Now, all that is doing is coming off the crank into a hydraulic pump which is in behind there. So that's all it's doing is running a hydraulic pump, the same as any other digger really, just on a smaller scale. Battery up here, and it's got an isolator. So I think we better turn that one on and we'll be able to start it then. I do like this though, just everything's steel, isn't it? It's all solid. Right, so your controls you'd expect from any micro digger. Obviously your 2 boom controls, then you've got your tracking forward and reverse. Presuming that's your blade there, and you've got hour clock, and you've got a voltage regulator, a voltage meter for your battery as well. Then on the side here, you've obviously got a breaker line, which I haven't actually looked to see if it's actually connected. And then that side will be your dipper side and each way on the movement there. So yeah, everything looks like it's in there. Now to be fair, I was half expecting to find a pull start somewhere, but no, it does have electric start. Hence why, because it's petrol, we've also got a choke as well. And then you've actually got a 12-volt socket there as well, so you can plug your phone in to charge it while you're beating away with your tunes in your ears while you're digging. And a little cubby hole in here. Huh, there we go. Oh, and it is a Lonson branded engine. Didn't realise that. So there's your starter motor. There's your turntable motor down there as well for your hydraulics. Oh, everything's reasonably easy to get to here, isn't it? I'm quite impressed with that. I think we're ready for a first start. This is snug. Oh, that was lucky. Where's the clutch? Ha! Okay, down here. On. Oh, we got, hang on, ready? Sounds just like my forklift. Out with the choke and... Well, that didn't take too much persuading, did it? Right, let's put the bucket out because I want to show you something on there. Oh, have I got a... Aha, there we go. Now we're away. Ha! Right, let it warm up while I show you that. On the end of here, there is a little quick hitch, so you can change your buckets easily, which has made me work out what my head scratch is for. Because in here you can go, there we go, that way, and now you should be able to lift your bucket off, and, well, if you don't do that, you do that on the ground. But being that they're so small and light, I can demonstrate it that way. And then back in, safety thing over, and you're away. I feel I'm being a little bit naughty because it says here, it is strictly forbidden to stand in the working area. That's where I'm stood. All right, back on again. She does start beautifully, and it sounds fine. All right, lift up the blade. Oh, hang on. Safety lever in, up with the blade. Well, that was that. We're going to go backwards, so there we go. Let me bucket down, don't want to fall off the pallet, do I? I don't really know how stable this is yet, so... And that should... No. Alright, these are back to front. Oh, that's just swivel on this side. Theoretically, I'm used to it on that side. So now if we go down with our bucket and drive off, that should support us far enough. And now we can lower ourselves down quite violently, obviously. You know, you wouldn't want to do it any other way. Now we spin back round. Now we should be able to push ourselves off and lower ourselves off the pallet. And hopefully not too violently this time. There we go. Right, we're off. Let's go digging. Now, one thing I think I've already noticed on this is that it's quite violent, even in low revs. So I think it might be fast, but low torque. Let's try a bit more rev, I think. Oh, it's a bit of a pirouette, shall we? What a little beast. Right, ahead of time, I've been down and cut this piece of concrete out and gone through with the breaker. So it's now the perfect time to try the little butt scratcher on the front. And I'm trying to rip that concrete out. Here. Well, that's that done. It's the nice thing about these buckets, you can just pick them up and funnel around with them. There we go. And back down with here again. Right, I am putting my seatbelt on for the simple reason it stops me falling off the seat. So I certainly have my reservations about these budget micro diggers. There's no shortage of videos online of people unboxing them, but until a brand I actually recognised was willing to put their name behind one, I wasn't convinced. As we've all been there, you buy a machine and the backup simply isn't there when you need it. Parts are hard to find and support is non-existent. But now with Crytec stepping in, things might be changing. They've taken that familiar Chinese-built platform and put their own name, standards and support behind it. So now finally getting a chance to give one a go and show you if they're worth it. Well, I'm certainly putting it through its paces for its first test. It's doing a great job, but I think I've come across some rebar within this concrete, hence why it's not pulling it up. It's trying to pull the whole lot in one go. So we're just going to break it up a little bit more with a breaker, and then we'll come back to pulling it out with that ripping claw. But to be fair, it is doing a good job where it's loose. A bit like a bucking bronco in stages, but that is the same with any small digger. But to be fair, the power is It's definitely there. You know, it's pulling itself up all the time, so you can't really shy away at that. Not the easiest job I've ever done with a digger, I'll be honest, but it has done it. And I haven't tipped it either. Brilliant, so that's a result. Let's change over for the little tiny digging bucket now, and we'll scoop up all of the concrete, get that out of the way, and then we'll probably move on to some soil. So, the Crytec CREX6-M micro digger, a basic machine for those jobs where you need something compact but at the same time on a budget. Designed for work in tight spaces, the CREX6-M combines a slim 700mm frame. It's small enough and designed to fit through standard doorways, gates and alleyways. At its heart is a durable 270cc Lonsin petrol engine, the brand of engine that seems to be everywhere these days and fast overtaking the main brands of engines on the market. Some more bump includes boom swing control, allowing a 96-degree angle turn, perfect for digging close to walls or fences, and with a maximum digging depth of 1250mm, it delivers good reach for a machine of its size. Weighing just 635 kilograms, the CREX6-M is easy enough to transport around, making it a very versatile machine if you have jobs in different locations. Every detail reflects Crytec's commitment to providing simple, basic and effective machines, and right now there's never been a better time to buy. For a limited period, every new CREX6-M comes with a free detachable canopy and a free 600mm grading bucket alongside the standard digging bucket it comes with, giving you a complete setup ready to go. All that delivered to your door for just £4,800 including VAT. I still can't quite believe that. So there we go, that is that little job done. Now before we move on to some soil, if you've driven bigger diggers, they're a lot more solid. They sort of stay where they're to, whereas smaller diggers are jerky. But with this one, it's just a little bit more violent than others I've driven, but it is doing the job. There's no getting away from it. It is easier than using a shovel. Right, so we actually got rained off yesterday. It's now time to play with some soil. So I got the grading bucket on because I'm just going to have a little bit of a scoop about. I think that's what we're going to do. And then I got something a little bit different that I think is a question that a lot of people looking to buy this will want to know. Well, I always say you should be on top of your work when you're working on it with a digger, rather than being underneath it. So I think I better get on top there. Now, these little diggers don't have expanding tracks like some do on the market. Obviously, they come with a very different price tag. This is where I'd normally expand my tracks out to give me a little bit more stability. So this is either going to go perfectly well or I'm going to tip it over. So far, so good. Let's have a bit of a scrape up and see what happens. Hopefully I made that look super easy because of 20 years of experience of driving loads of different types of diggers. Obviously small machine, jerky, and it doesn't look quite as smooth as it could do. But there's a question that you're probably wondering is what is it like for a novice to drive? So I'm going to hand it over to my co-presenter, Josh, who has probably driven diggers for about 10 minutes of his life. Right, so to keep it simple, I'm just going to ask him to move that load of soil there over there.
Right, it's safe to say I think Wally's going to be probably digging quicker than I can, but you all right, Wal? Right, so I've had no destruction, so it could go anyway. Let's just have a look and see what the controls do first. Well, that's not doing naught. That's not doing naught. Let's go. Let's give him. Oh, so that's up. I know that. Yeah. So that's out. Back in. Yeah. Slew round like this. God, I've already got the controls wrong. So my challenge is to move this bit of soil. Let's give him a little bit more red there. This lump of soil just in front of me. And like that, slow him back round. Just like if you're going to dig a land. shake. I certainly wouldn't charge per hour. Getting the hang of it. I like it. An hour away. What do you reckon then? Gonna hire me anytime soon?
I don't think you've done too bad there, mate.
All right, for a little spuddler, I suppose,
No,
isn't it?
that's right. Principally, all digger movements are the same on any brand of digger you buy, and this is no different.
Just finding your feet or your arms or whatever, really, isn't
That's
it?
right, yeah. Muscle memory. That's all it boils down to. Victory lap. Oh, yes. Anyway, I think another few other sort of things that people are probably asking is how does this different from, should we say, the mainline brands that are on the market? Kubota, Takeuchi, Hitachi, Volvo, JCB, all make diggers of a similar size. Now, I used to own a little Kubota CREX6-M many years ago, and to be fair, that was just as jerky, but it was a perfect little digger for up narrow spaces, going through garden gates, getting in behind houses to dig out, doing landscaping projects and stuff like that. It was great. Where does this differ? I would say, being a petrol engine, you've got to have the revs quite high for things to happen quickly. So that obviously is quite loud. With earmuffs on, absolutely fine. With obviously a diesel smaller machine, generally they're mostly diesel, then they are a lot quieter and a lot less, shall we say, violent on the controls. With a diesel, you've got a lot more bottom end torque rather than sort of speed. But it sort of does work out quite evenly on them. Whereas with this, you haven't got a massive amount of torque, but to be able to get it to move, you've got to have it on high revs. But don't get me wrong, it's done everything that we wanted it to here. So I can't really complain on that. The only other thing I'd say is very different on this compared to others is the slewing speed, which is the speed when I'm spinning round, like I was just now. When you're spinning around in a circle, going from area to area, it is very slow, but still achievable. So, in my eyes, who is this digger designed for? Well, definitely someone self-build, someone of their own, should we say, user driver. I wouldn't buy this machine to employ other people to operate it. I don't think it would end up lasting that long. But if you're an owner driver and you've got some little bits of work to do around your property, perhaps you've got some drains to dig, perhaps you want to do some landscaping, perhaps you want to pile up wood chip or turn compost or something with it, then I think it's going to be an absolute excellent little digger for that. You know, as I said before, it does everything you want it to. All the controls work the same as a normal digger. They all work in the same direction. Yes, it's muscle memory of where those levers have got to be at the right time, as Josh demonstrated when he had a go. But it does work. And the spec that you get with it, you know, LED lights, you've got the quick hitch attachment, you get the standard bucket, and at the moment, obviously, you get the grading bucket as well within a special offer. You've got a canopy. Yes, it's not going to keep you dry, but it's going to keep the most of the weather off of you. Your legs are normally the worst thing on a cabless digger that are going to get wet. All in all, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now, I had lots of reservations about doing this video because I thought I was going to, you know, struggle to say anything nice about it because I'm so used to driving better machines. But it has surprised me, and I would happily recommend it to someone. Looking at it at a professional level, let's say you've got bigger diggers, you've got, say, like a 1.5 tonner, or you've got like a 2 tonner or 4 tonner or something like that, but you want something little just for those odd jobs. I think this would probably still be okay to use for that. But the big plus, the massive plus, is that it's £4,000 plus the VAT. You can't buy a decent second-hand digger from one of those bigger brands for that money. Not a chance. You know, if they are that money, they are absolutely knackered. They're worn out. Everything's sloppy. Everything's done. With this, you know what you're getting. And because it's from Crytec, you know you've got someone to speak to if there's a problem. You know there's someone to speak to if you need a spare part. And you know there's someone to speak to if something isn't quite right when you first get it. Let us know what you think in the comments, because I am surprised without a shadow of a doubt. So we're Machinery Nation, and we bring you videos every single week about tools and machinery. This is the little Crytec CREX6-M. Some of the machines we get sent on our channel, we get to keep. I don't actually know if we get to keep this, but I'd actually be quite pleased if we do, because you'd see a lot more on our Find It, Fix It, Farm It channel. So go and check that out. You might see some more of this digger if we get to keep it. Anyway, Cheerio.